What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel. This is Joseph Conlon, Friday night, October 8th, 2021, here with the AEW Rampage review. The show was from Philadelphia once again at the Liacouras Center, where my boy, co-host tonight, Cameron Johnson, of course, and Wesley Williams back for another Friday night. And tonight's show was 100% better than last week's show. I thought last week's show, looking back at it, really was not that good of a show besides the opener. But tonight, really good show. I thought tonight was a really good show. You had a hot opener, an excellent opening match with CM Punk and Daniel Garcia. Then you had the tag titles on the line. You had the women's match, which was like a minute. And then the main event, pretty solid. It was a solid main event. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a street fight for the FTW Championship. Cam, how are you doing on this Friday night, sir?
I am doing good, Mr. Joseph Conlon. I am doing good. Happy to be here on the Big Fight Field channel. I thought Rampage tonight was a pretty good show. Not only did we have Punk and Daniel Garcia, but we got to see my new favorite wrestler in the AEW Women's Division, Sky Blue. I don't know if she's signed, but if she's not, she's my new favorite. She's overtaken Julia Hart. I'm sorry, Julia Hart. But Sky Blue is my new favorite wrestler in all of the Women's Division. And we got an appearance from the best rapper alive, Max Caster. So overall, I thought this is a really good show tonight. A bounce back from last week. And how you doing, Mr. Wesley Williams?
I'm doing well, my friend. I'm doing very well. This was a very, very solid episode of AEW Rampage tonight, live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And like you said, Joseph, I as well thought this was a lot better than last week's show. You had a lot of good stuff with tonight's episode. Got a special 4 matches on the show tonight. And I can't wait to talk about all of it, man, especially that Daniel Garcia CM Punk opener. I mean, by far match of the night for sure.
Yeah, it seems like that Cameron has officially turned heel on Julia Hart. I can't believe this day has come.
The betrayal, gosh.
I know.
She turned heel on me, Legion. She turned heel on me. Lee Johnson would have sit there and pulled that crap on Rhodes to the top. Don't worry.
Wait, what happened on Road to the Top?
Special exclusive.
Yeah, Lee Johnson and Julia Hart. Lee Johnson told Cody on Rose at the top that him and Julia Hart are an item. Now, congrats to Mr. Lee Johnson. Oh. But until this ends, I am boycotting all Lee Johnson matches.
Wow. Lee Johnson not in good graces with Cameron Johnson. I mean, the two Johnsons going at it, man. I mean, this is quite a war we got going on here.
Bro, I'm going to tell him, if I see him in Miami next week, I'm going to tell him, yo, my co-host on Rampage, he's got a problem with you, man. I'm gonna.
Y'all got to settle in the ring.
Which Johnson will prevail?
Yes, Johnson versus Johnson, the Battle of the Johnsons.
Oh
2021.
Man.
There we go.
There you go. Let's get into the review. Before we get into the review, really quick. If you have not already, be sure to go check out Wednesday's AEW Dynamite review. That is on the channel. And then earlier today, I uploaded a video indicating Sunday's football game between the Miami Dolphins and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I said it there, and I'll say it again. If you see the title, you actually have to click the video and hear my reasons as to why I have my Dolphins pulling off the big upset on Sunday in Tampa. So be sure to go check that out. And we are going to get into this Rampage review right now. The opening match was Daniel Garcia against CM Punk. This was the match I was probably looking forward to the most on tonight's show. This was by far Daniel Garcia's biggest match in his career, no doubt. And this was Punk's 3rd match in AEW since his return. And to be perfectly honest with you, I thought that out of Punk's uh, first three matches with Darby Allin, Hobbs, and Daniel Garcia, I think I enjoyed this match with Daniel Garcia the most. I thought this was an excellent match, a slow build to the finish, which I really liked. Very technical as well. Daniel Garcia, man, listen, I didn't know much about him in the beginning when he debuted about 2 months ago, but yeah, he's growing on me. Every time I see him on television, whether it's in a match against Darby Allin, Moxley, a six-man with 2.0, he is freaking awesome. He's gonna be hopefully hopefully we get that Daniel Garcia is all elite graphic very, very soon because he deserves it. And he's putting on banger matches in AEW, and this one with CM Punk. Punk got the win, not with the GTS tonight. No, he tapped out Daniel Garcia with the Anaconda Vice. When was the last time we've ever seen when was the last time we saw CM Punk hit the Anaconda Vice? Probably in 2014 or whatever. But um, Punk won, excellent match, and I really, really liked this opening match. Wes, we're gonna start with you, and then we'll get to Cam. What did you think about this opening match?
Yeah, excellent technical bout between CM Punk and Daniel Garcia. I really like what both these men brought to the table here. I mean, and Daniel Garcia, we've been talking about. I mean, what a run this guy's had, along with 2.0 so far in AEW. I mean, Daniel Garcia's got to be just the happiest guy in all pro wrestling right now. I mean, he got to go one-on-one with CM Punk on AEW Rampage. I mean, and I love how with CM Punk, he's pretty much made Rampage like his main destination of wrestling right now. It's been Rampage and pay-per-view so far, mainly with Punk, and he's been doing the CM Punk talking segments on Dynamite, but and also being on commentary over there. But I really like how they really established Rampage as like the CM Punk show, pretty much. And people were thinking like, oh, Rampage is going to be the forgotten show. Oh, people won't really care about Rampage. Meanwhile, they're putting pretty much their hottest commodity right now in CM Punk on that show on a consistent basis. And he's literally going to be wrestling again next week against Matt Sydal one-on-one, which should be a great match there. But I thought this was awesome here. Daniel Garcia is so good at 23 years old, man. I mean, this guy's got such a bright future ahead of him. And we really need to see that Daniel Garcia's all elite graphic. We got it for 2.0. So we got to get it for the third man, Daniel Garcia. So hopefully we'll see that in the near future. Hopefully Tony Khan or AEW themselves post the graphic and we get to see that, because I really could see a lot of great matches out of Daniel Garcia in AEW, and he's already been making a big statement. And his style reminds me a little bit of Zack Sabre Jr. over in New Japan, and I really like that. Zack Sabre Jr. works a very technical style in his own right. And I thought this was just really, really solid from beginning to end, and it really started to pick up more and more as the match progressed. And both these guys just were worn out by the end, and man, it was what a contest it was. And I love the fact that they did that Punk did end the match using the Anaconda Vice, because yeah, I mean, like you said, Joseph, when was the last time we even saw him break that move out? Because the Anaconda Vice is, I mean, it's such a great move, and I love the fact that Punk used it. And yeah, I don't know if he'll ever bring back the Pepsi Plunge, which was an old move he used back in the day. I would love to see that in person, but I heard he apparently stopped using it because it hurt his knees too much, which I understand because it's a very devastating move. But man, it's just, again, it's wild to see Punk wrestling in 2021 in AEW, man. I mean, there's so many amazing matches that they're going to continue to build up with CM Punk, and I kind of feel like maybe next up, as far as big rivalries go, and we'll get into it, I think, more when we get to the main event, but I'd love to see Punk and Starks at Full Gear. I feel like that's the next route they should probably go as far as like a big time feud for Punk. So
Absolutely. I don't mean to get off track about the match, but they were announcing matches next week, and we have Lucha Bros against two masked wrestlers. And for some reason, I just thought about the Lucha House Party. I'm like, what the heck? Like,
well, Grand Metalik wants his release, so I mean, I don't know.
Hey man, that'd be a cute. Hey man, that'd be a cool. Hey man, that'd be the ultimate fuck you to WWE. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be smart. I don't know if it'd be smart legally, but agreement of league and Lince Dorado just showed up in Miami and said, "Fuck
Or
that."
Kalisto's gone. Kalisto's not in WWE anymore. We can see Kalisto show up.
Oh yeah, maybe we see Kalisto. I don't know if it worked out legal. I don't know if it worked out legally, but hey, hey, that'd be an ultimate fuck you to WWE.
Cam, what do you think about the opening match?
I thought this is a very good opening match. I love Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia is my boy. Daniel Garcia is my boy. I love Daniel Garcia. I love these technical mat-paced wrestlers. Wrestlers that don't look like it would be fun to wrestle at all. It does not look like it would be fun to wrestle Daniel Garcia at all. The way he just twists you up and just manipulates the body part. Oh God. It does not look like it would be fun to wrestle him at all. And those are the type of wrestlers I like. So I love me some Daniel Garcia. I thought this is a very good opening match. Tony Khan, we need you to sign Daniel Garcia, man. Sign this dude, man. Sign Daniel Garcia, man. We know you like him. You see the big matches Daniel Garcia had against Darby Allin, against Darby Allin, Moxley, now Punk. So he's had some pretty big matches in AEW so far, wrestling some of the biggest names in the company. But Tony Khan, bro, we need you to go ahead. Just go ahead and put that graphic up on Twitter, man. The way you did with Leo Rush and the way you did with Bobby and Fish and the way you did with Bobby and Fish on Wednesday. Go ahead and put that graphic up, Tony Khan. Go ahead. Just go ahead and put that. Just go ahead and put that Daniel Garcia's All Elite graphic up, man. Go right on ahead, because the dude deserves it. And Daniel Garcia in AEW, I would love to see. This man has been killing it so far, and Daniel Garcia has quickly become one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. Was this your favorite Punk match in AEW so far?
My favorite match was still the Darby match. But I did enjoy this a lot. This probably be number 3. Not number 3, but this probably be number 2. Because he's only had like 3 matches so far, I think. So this would be number 2.
All right,
Yeah, I'd still probably put Punk and Darby at the top, personally, for me, just because, Punk's first match back and, him and Darby working together was just a treat to watch. But I definitely put Punk and Daniel Garcia right behind that number 2, just like Cam here. It's I think, that just slightly ranks a little bit lower. But, Punk and Garcia really delivered tonight. And in my opinion, it was match of the night for sure. So,
yeah, all right. I guess I'm a loner on this one. So, yeah, I'll take that by myself. I am totally okay with that. The tag team titles were up next. We had Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, the Acclaimed, against the Lucha Bros for the tag team championships, the AEW tag team championships. This was a decent match, not bad, but I mean, it could have been a little bit better, but I enjoyed the match overall. The Lucha Bros did retain with that spike pile driver to Anthony Bowens, which looked pretty damn nasty, man. I mean, he landed legit right on top of his head, and they zoomed in on the camera as well with him getting hit by that pile driver. But I thought this was a decent match. The Lucha Bros retained, and I really don't have much to say. Just another successful defense for the Lucha Bros. I will say this, though. I think when all said is done with their title reign, I don't know if they're going to have a longer tag title reign than the Young Bucks, but I could see them being pretty close to having the most title defenses, probably the second most title defenses to the Young Bucks. I could see this being a regular thing on Rampage where we just have these tag teams come up and challenge the Lucha Bros for the tag team titles. I originally thought the Gun Club was going to get the next shot because they're undefeated and they were just in the AEW rankings.
Respect the Gun Club!
That's who I thought was getting the next shot, but no, we got the Acclaimed. So I think the Gun Club is probably going to get the next shot for the tag team championships. That's just my prediction, but Cam, what do you think about this tag?
They waiting for that match, man. They know that they're waiting for that match. They know they got to do the Gun Club a service, and they got to put the Gun Club on the big stage. They know they got to put the Gun Club on pay-per-view. So that's going to be your Full Gear match right there. Lucha Bros versus Gun Club at Full Gear. I'm joking. I don't think that's going to be the match, nor should it be. No disrespect to the Gun Club at all. But I thought I thought this match could have benefited. I thought this match could have benefited from going a lot longer than it did. This match only went about. It felt like this match only went about 5-6 minutes. I thought it could have benefited from going longer. And I thought it could have benefited from going longer, going an extra 5. Going an extra 4 or 5 minutes there. To me, it felt like this match never really got off the ground. It felt like the match never really got off the ground, and I think it's because of how short the match was. But I enjoyed it, but as short as the match was, I enjoyed it. I thought the match was fine. Max Caster is the best rapper alive. I don't care what anybody says. I'm telling you right now, had Max Caster been on Donda, had Max Caster been on Certified Lover Boy, those albums would have went triple platinum. They would have been the best-selling albums of all time. So they disrespected Max Caster by not putting them on those albums. But I thought this was a good match. I just thought it never really got off the ground because of how short it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Wes?
Yeah, it was a very quick tag title match. It might be the quickest tag time match I've seen in AEW up to this point, but it was a 4-match card tonight. I guess they just kind of needed to speed it up to get to the women's match. Yeah, I mean, for what it was pretty fun. I thought the Acclaimed looked pretty good in there against the Lucha Brothers. But yeah, I mean, the whole talk about the Gun Club. I mean, they seem to be kind of building them up now with promos on Dark, talking about we're undefeated and we probably should be next in line for those tag titles. So I don't know. That might be an interim thing they'll probably do for like a Dynamite or something. Or they'll build it up for Full Gear. Who knows? But no, I see something just a little bit bigger for the Lucha Brothers at Full Gear. But yeah. Hey, interesting factoid though, Lucha Brothers are undefeated in 2021. That is an interesting factoid there. They might very well end the year of 2021 undefeated. We'll have to see. I got a couple more months left. So I don't see the Lucha Brothers having a short title reign. I mean, they just won those tag titles last month. I don't see their reign getting cut short anytime soon. So they might end up being undefeated by the very end of the year, which would be huge for the Lucha Brothers to go a full year without getting pinned or submitted in any way. So I thought that was really cool. I like that they brought that up, and I think that's going to play into their feuds going forward.
Well, now that you said that, I think they're going to be the tag champs going into next year. I think them being undefeated for an entire year would be incredible. So I think it should happen. And Santana and Ortiz, they'll be the next tag team champions. I think we all know that. Hopefully they are. But before we get into the next match, I'm scrolling on Twitter, and I come across that apparently SmackDown's going to be on FS1 next week, and it's gonna have a overlap. It's going to be going on an extra half hour going head to head with Rampage. I just read that.
Oh well. Oh well. Look here. Let me tell you something, Vince and Bruce. When 10 o'clock hit, my TV is being turned to TNT. I got a special program. I got somebody who real good with technology, and I got a special program to my TV. 10 o'clock on Fridays, the TV automatically go to Rampage. Same thing with Dynamite. TV at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays automatically goes to TNT. This ain't gonna be no different. So Vince and Bruce, you ain't winning this battle with me, Vince and Bruce. We watching Rampage next week over SmackDown.
They don't even get me watching SmackDown anymore. So
same here. I haven't watched SmackDown in I don't think I've watched anything of SmackDown since Daniel Bryan versus Adam Cole for the NXT title. That was a long time ago. So
that's almost 2 years actually. So
yeah, and now we're probably gonna get that match in AEW, which is so freaking sweet. My gosh.
Hey, man, we'll see. He's facing his. We'll get to that, and I don't want to spoil. I mean, it'll be very quick because the next match was about what, a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a quick match. Jade Cargill defeated Sky Blue. For me, listen, this was my first actual match I could see Sky Blue and what she can do, and she freaking got no offense. and I was a little upset by that because I've never seen her wrestle before. She was in that Casino Battle Royal, which she was in for a minute, and then I don't watch Dark and Elevation, so I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to go watch a Darker Elevation this week to go see how good Sky Blue is. But Jade Cargill won with uh, the Grand Slam, and yeah, she's really talking about the TBS Championship in her promos now. So I'm guessing she's pretty much confirmed uh, for that tournament when they crown the TBS champion. And honestly, who's beating her? Who's gonna beat Jade Cargill? Like, she's booked so strong right now, but I feel like she's not ready. But she's undefeated. She's booked like a beast. Who's beating Jade Cargill? I'll start with Kim.
Who beats Jade Cargill? I do. I do not know. I do not know the answer to that question. Maybe it's I do not know the answer to that question. Maybe it's the Tate Conchi who they build up to beat Jade Cargill. Here's one name I would love. Here's one name I'd love. And you guys know I love her because I sing her praises almost every week whenever I get a chance to. I love if they build up Layla Hirsch to be the one to beat Jade Cargill for that TBS title. I love that. I love that. But in terms of who beats Jade Cargill, the first one, I do not know. Maybe it's Tate Conchi, maybe it's Anna Jay, but
No.
maybe it's Ruby Soho. Maybe it's Ruby Soho, but I do not know who is the first one to beat Jade Cargill for that title. I mean, who to beat Jade Cargill? Because I think to beat Jade Cargill. Because I think Jade Cargill is going to be undefeated for a while. She's got this Goldberg. She's got this Goldberg like streak going on right now, where she goes in there, beats the crap out of people, and goes home. So she has that kind of streak. So she has that kind of streak going on right now. That's the kind of vibes I get from her and her streak. So I do not know who they build up to beat her, take that TBS title off her. I don't know.
Yeah, I said me and Wesley were talking about this on a Wednesday night. Just a big segment on Wednesday night. We had a couple of names of who could be that TBS champion. I said Ruby. I pitched my main woman would be Ruby Soho, but the way things are going right now, and the post match, the post match angle was Thunder Rosa chasing away Jade, but I mean, listen, I don't. Probably the finals is going to happen on what, that first TBS show on January 5th.
That's what I would have to think. That's what I would have to think. I thought they were going to do it at Rampage, not Rampage. I thought they were going to do it at Full Gear since they unveiled the championship on Dynamite this week. I thought they were building up to it happening at Full Gear. So, but I do not know. So maybe
Yeah,
they. I mean,
I
it
can
makes
honestly,
sense.
I can honestly see Tony Khan and AEW dragging the feud between Jade Cargill and Thunder Rosa to January 5th, and that being the finals for to crown the first ever TBS champion, and then probably Jade goes over. That's what I could see happening. What about Wes? Who do you see Jade Cargill beating right now? You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. I think I agree with you with the finals being Thunder Rosa and Jay Cargill. It seems like they're really trying to build that up when it comes to this TBS Women's Championship tournament. But it's going to be interesting to watch. But I mentioned on Twitter again tonight. I need to start seeing more moves out of Jade's arsenal, because she's still bringing us the limited move set right now. With tonight she had the fall away slam, the pump kick, and then the jaded, and then that's it. And it was a squash, and so I'm an avid watcher of Dark and Elevation. I've seen Sky Blue's work. She's good. I think she's very solid. I think she's still got, she's still super young. I'm not sure how young she is.
22. She's 22.
22. Okay, 22. Okay, so yes, I mean, man, a lot of young talent in this company, man. You got Dante Martin, who's 20. You got Daniel Garcia, 23. Sky Blue, 22. I mean, I love the youth in pro wrestling, man. It's really amazing to see. So Sky Blue's got a lot of time in her career to start to mold her craft even more so. But I think already she's looking really good. But yeah, we didn't get to see anything out of her tonight with Jade Cargill. It was an easy squash, but I hope at some point we do start to see more out of Jade's arsenal, and I hope we kind of start to see that more before we do get to the finals of the TBS title tournament. Because if we're just seeing the same old thing every single week from Jade Cargill, then I'm not going to be into her being the first champion. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it's like you mentioned. I mean, she is on a Goldberg streak right now, where it's like, yeah, she's going in, just destroying her opponents and leaving. And that's fine and all, but I just want to see more out of her. I want to see more development. I don't want to just see the same thing every single week. I don't want to see like the 5 moves of doom or something like that. I want to see stuff coming out of Jade's arsenal where I'm at the edge of my seat being like, wow, this is insane what I'm watching on my television right now. And I'm not really getting that so far. Jade's impressive. She looks the part. That is for sure. That she has got that down.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no doubt about it. We've never had doubts about that. But if they plan on making her the first champion, we're going to need to see more, because I'm not going to be a fan of her being the first champion if all we're going to get is just a very limited move set with not much, more spunk to it. And if anybody's going to beat her, I wouldn't rule out Thunder Rosa. I mean, Thunder Rosa is great, and she's definitely been built up as one of the key women in this entire division. And that might very well be what we see in the finals of the tournament. But I will say this, though, I do really appreciate that they're already trying to build up the prestige of the TBS championship and really giving it more importance already, like right out of the gates. They're already building up this tournament. They're already, with this match tonight. I mean, even if it might have been a little bit unnecessary to do this match tonight, because it was just a quick 1-minute match that didn't really need to be on the show, I do appreciate that they're at least giving some importance and prestige to the TBS championship, trying to build up that secondary women's title, make it as important as the women's world title. And so I can at least appreciate that, because from what I heard on SmackDown tonight, AEW I think is doing a lot better with their women than WWE is with their women. Apparently, both the women's matches for the Queen of the Ring, or the Queen's Crown, I'm sorry, because Queen of the Ring just can't be said. So the Queen's Crown tournament or whatever, both matches tonight didn't even elapse more than 4 minutes, apparently, from what I heard. So that is sad. And literally on Wednesday, we watched Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb tear it up for 11 minutes on television with a show that had a casino ladder match, and what else? It had a big 8-man tag. I mean, it had all these big time matches on the show, and they still gave 11 minutes to Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida. Because they deserve it. Why? Because AEW cares about their women, and they're doing whatever they can to try and build up this women's division, build up their championships, whether it's the women's world title or the TBS title. They're trying their best to build up the growth of this division, and I appreciate that a lot. And looking at WWE and what they're doing with their women, it's appalling, and it's absolutely disgusting, especially Toni Storm, man. I mean, my gosh, I love me some Toni Storm, man, but my gosh, how they have just completely ruined this woman is just beyond me. But
unbelievable. I heard, I was doing schoolwork for college, and I look on Twitter and I scroll through what's happening, and I see Toni Storm's trending. I'm like, why is Toni Storm trending? And I'm like, and I read it. I'm like, oh God,
yeah.
Jesus. But there's one thing I want to bring up. I'm not gonna call names or anything, but I was listening to a Dynamite podcast on Thursday, and someone said that the TBS championship should be the workhorse championship, kind of like Cody Rhodes and the TNT championship, and I could not agree with that more. And you look at Jade Cargill right now, it seems like AEW is positioning her to be the first champion. Jade Cargill is not a workhorse. Right now, she is not the definition of a workhorse. If you want a workhorse champion who's going to defend that championship nearly every single week, like Cody Rhodes did with the TNT championship and Darby Allin with the TNT championship, I'm thinking Ruby Soho, I'm thinking Thunder Rosa, Shida, Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb would be a great pick. I'd love for Serena.
Yeah.
She would be. Talk about a workhorse champion. Talk about a workhorse champion, female Bret Hart, as some people call her. That'd be a great. Serena Deeb would be a great pick right there.
Yeah, those are the women I'm thinking of as workhorses in the women's division. Jade Cargill is not a workhorse, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So,
I agree there. I mean, yeah, Jay Cargill, I mean, she has still more to prove. And again, and I've been optimistic about it. And I've said, I think she will grow as a competitor. I do think she's going to get better. I mean, AEW is all about trying to better their wrestlers. And, with all the talent we've seen signed and all this young, hungry talent, they're clearly growing as competitors, growing as on-screen characters. And it's very much appreciated. And I'm all for that. I'm all for just seeing the growth in wrestlers, because I mean, all these wrestlers that you see on their roster and how young they are, I mean, they have so many years ahead of their career. I mean, they're going to be, and knowing how like wrestlers are taking better care of their bodies these days too, compared to 20, 30 years ago and stuff. I mean, it's a massive improvement. And we definitely want these competitors to have like long careers, and we want them especially to have long lives, because we've seen in history, wrestlers' lives are cut short very unfortunately when they're in their like 50s and 60s, and it's just like we don't want that at all for anybody, but especially not for like this young talent that we're seeing right now. And so I'm all for growth, and I think Jay Cargill will grow over time, but I just hope if they are going to position her as the first champion, we need to see more out of her, and that's all I really have to, gripe about with this. I just want to see more out of Jay Cargill rather than just the same old thing that we have been seeing, because we're just going to see the same old thing every single week, rinse and repeat. I'm not going to be for her being positioned as the first champion, but I love, Cameron, that you mentioned Serena Deeb. I think she would be a perfect first champion for the TBS championship. I mean, especially with this new heel turn and everything and this new attitude, I think I could see her going on a huge run where she's just breaking down her opponents. I mean, she's just tearing them limb from limb just to get to that finals of the TBS tournament. So we're having to see. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of solid candidates right now for that TBS title. And again, I really appreciate that they're going out of their way to try and already make this title feel important. And that's what you want to do with all your championships. Make them feel important. Give all of us at home a reason watching as to why they are vying for these titles and vying for opportunities.
I agree 100%. And Joseph, if you don't mind, before we move on here, I just want to say, maybe putting the TBS championship on Jade Cargill, now that we've talked about it being like the workhorse championship. Let's say Jade Cargill is the first TBS champion.
okay.
If she's the first TBS champion, in theory, her being the first TBS champion and working with women like Tay Conchi, Serena Deeb, Hikaru Shida, Thunder Rosa, women that could really go in there, Ruby Soho, women that could go in there and really help bring out, some more, and really help bring out some more in that moveset. See what Jay Cargill can do. Maybe they can bring that out of him. So maybe Jay Cargill being the first TBS champion, but working with those names, maybe that's the direction they're going down. And if you're in the ring with those women, with those kind of performers every night, in theory you should get better. Now, in theory you should get better. So maybe that's the route they're thinking about with putting the TBS championship on Jay Cargill.
Yeah, that I do. That statement I do agree with. But before we move on, I could like I said, the way I see things going, I think AEW is building up Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill to be the finals for the TBS Championship when that happens. But before we get into the main event, we got some match announcements for next week in Miami, and I want to tell you guys. Next Friday, Rampage is live. It's been taped for about a couple weeks now, but next Friday, Rampage is going to be a live show in Miami. We got CM Punk and Matt Sydal, Ruby Soho against Penelope Ford, I think it was.
No, it was
the Bunny.
The Bunny.
Oh, the Bunny. Okay, so Ruby Soho versus the Bunny, and the Inner Circle versus the American Top Team in a 6-man tag. And then Saturday night, the one that I'll be at, live in Miami, we got Dante Martin and Malachi Black. Thank God I get to see Malachi Black live. the Lucha Bros are facing a masked tag team who I thought was going to be. When I saw that, I'm like, the only team I could think of is Lucha House Party. Like,
it's the
legit.
return of Los Matadores. We're gonna see freaking El Torito again. There you go. That's your bit. That's Andrade's close friends. There you go. I spoiled it for you next week, folks. There you go.
El Torito's going to destroy you on Phoenix.
My God. I don't know. Something tells me, I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't be completely impossible for AEW to book. I don't know. It'd be really silly, but I don't know.
Hey, I'm interested now. I'm interested to see who this tag team is going to be. Is it going to be from AAA, you think?
I think so. I've heard Dragon Lee be brought up. I think Dragon Lee, if he showed up, would be super cool. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. Dragon Lee and Roosh.
Yeah. Maybe, but I don't think Roosh is masked, though. I don't think so.
Roosh isn't masked, and I thought Roosh was still in the hospital. I thought he was going to be in there for a while. Okay. I thought Roosh still wasn't medically cleared. So I don't know, but
yeah, you might be right about that. But yeah, so we got that match. We'll have to see who faces. I'm interested. I saw the Lucha Bros on my first show, so I get to see them again, which is awesome. And then Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. That's probably the match I'm looking forward to the most. That will be a technical classic. I can't wait to see that. And we were supposed to get an update on Darby Allin's condition tonight to see if he could face MJF next Saturday, and we never got an update, and they never announced a match. So we do not know if MJF and Darby Allin is happening. We don't know if that match is happening next Saturday. I hope it does, because if you put that at the main event with this card that they got lined up, no man, next Saturday night that card looks awesome. So a big week to look forward to. Like I said, Wednesday night. The next time myself and Wesley Williams will do an AEW Dynamite review on the channel, it's not until October 27th. So you guys are going to have to wait a while for that one.
And also we have the announcement of the bracket for the world title eliminator next Saturday. Yeah. That's right.
That's right. I forgot about that. So yeah, we'll have to see who's going to be in that tournament. So the main event tonight was the FTW Championship. Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks in a Philly street fight. It was a fun match for what it was. A couple of trash cans, pipes, steel chairs. The thing I remember the most is on commentary when Cage was going to put Ricky Starks away and win the match. Taz was yelling out, "Send Hobbs," but then Chris Jericho followed up and said, "Send Hook." So I think Chris Jericho knows about that Send Hook Twitter account. So
I don't know who doesn't know about that account at this point. I really don't.
Dude, I see it every day, and it's like the same time of day as well. It's like it's like 8 o'clock at night. 9 hours ago, there was a video of Send Hooks. So
there you go.
Now people are bringing signs to shows. CM Punk fears Hook. So
I don't know. He's kind of dodging Hook these days, so he might be in fear of the reckoning from Mr. Hook.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, so Cage was going for the finish, and then Hook came out, Hobbs came out, and Brian Cage took care of both of them. Ricky Starks hit a spear onto a pipe, which Brian Cage kicked out of, and then Brian Cage, he hit Ricky Starks with the trash can over the head. He suplexed him under the trash can, hit him with a big clothesline, and then Hobbs came up and broke that up. And then Ricky Starks came up all busted open. And Brian Cage was going for the drill call, I think, and Hobbs and Hook. Hook gave Cage a low blow. And Ricky Starks got him in Rochambeau. And Brian Cage took Brian Cage took another L tonight, and Ricky Starks won the match. And, you know, that's the right call. You know, Brian Cage can complain all he wants on social media, and his wife can complain, but it's just not his time right now. And um, right now, it's all about Ricky Starks, and it's not about Brian Cage right now because Ricky Starks is about to have a program with. He's in a program. Well, Team Taz is in a program with CM Punk. The focus at first was Hobbs versus Punk. Now it's going to be Ricky Starks versus Punk going into Full Gear. So Ricky Starks had to win this match tonight. And as far as uh, Brian Cage is directionless right now. Maybe he's in that World Championship Eliminator tournament, but we'll see. Cam, what did you think about the main event? And then we'll end it with Wes.
I thought the main event. I thought the main event was fine. I thought this is a fine main event. Very standard. Yeah, I thought this was a very standard no DQ match. You know, they use chairs, they use pipe, they use chairs, they use pipes, they use kendo sticks. They use kendo sticks. I thought it was a very basic no DQ, very basic street fight. But I thought it was fun. Brian Cage cannot buy a victory to save this guy's life right now. Cage can't buy a win to save his life right now. And this dude is going nowhere. This dude is in a ship and he going nowhere. This dude is going absolutely nowhere right now. He is directionless as all hell. But this is the right call. You know, Ricky Starks is about to go into. Ricky Starks is probably facing Punk at Full Gear. So Ricky Starks needed the wins. You know, so Ricky Starks needed the wins. So there you go. But I just thought this match was. I thought this was just a very basic street fight. Good match, but just a very standard street fight.
Yeah, Wes.
Yeah, it was a solid street fight for what it was. It's pretty safe to say I don't think anybody predicted Ricky Starks losing the FTW title. I mean, why would Brian Cage win the FTW title back when he's not even in the group anymore? That doesn't make any sense. So the right call was obviously made here. It was good for what it was. I really enjoyed the visual of Ricky Starks bleeding and holding up the FTW title in. I thought that was a really cool visual to end the show. And like you guys have been talking about, Brian Cage is directionless. I don't know where in the world they go with him after this. Ricky Starks, yeah, that's like we talked about. I see him going up against Punk next, and that'll probably be the match set up for Full Gear, which should be an awesome match. Should be a great promo battle too, man. Because Starks, we know, is very charismatic on the mic. And Punk, Punk is Punk. We know how great he is on the mic too. So I think promo wise, I feel like these two would tear it up. If they want to do like a face-to-face segment going into Full Gear, I'd be all for that. Brian Cage, he's just in a sea of nothing, and I don't think he's going to be getting out of it anytime soon. I really don't know where you go with him. I really wouldn't be surprised if he's no longer with AEW in the near future, to be honest with you, because I mean, if he clearly isn't liking what's going on with his character and with his direction. He's made that clear. His wife's made it clear too. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for Brian Cage. I mean, he's great. He's a great wrestler. I mean, no one can take that away from the guy's got a great look. But as far as character goes, and as far as like fan interaction, I guess, or fan acceptance, he's not really in a great spot right now. And when you look with him and Ricky Starks is clearly the favorite out of the two of them. I mean, I don't think it doesn't take that much to really see that Ricky Starks is more over. And Ricky Starks definitely has more direction right now than Brian Cage. So, I see Starks and Punk being the next direction for Ricky, and Brian Cage, seeing nothing. So.
Absolutely. So, one more thing before we go. I'm sitting here scrolling on Twitter. Tony Khan is on fire right now, man. He just tweeted out, "I saw you doing a half-hour head-to-head with us. I can't wait to finally beat your main show head-to-head. It's been a long time coming. See you next Friday for AEW Rampage." Then someone replied, "Tony, hold on, I'm not done." Someone replied, "Tony, worry about your own show." Some clown on social media said, "Tony, worry about your own show." Tony comes back, I already announced the AEW Rampage card for live next Friday, and it's straight fire, Chief.
Oh, Tony Khan is the man. Tony Khan is the man, making WWE shills angry since day one. Man, you love to see it.
That is awesome.
Golly, man. Yeah, he's been on a roll today, man. I think he tweeted something out earlier. I'm trying to remember. He was like replying, I think, to somebody talking about the Variety article, which E-Drones got super butthurt about on Twitter today. I saw all that. Folks, it's an article by a news network. I mean, why? Are you trying to annex Variety now? You're trying to cancel Variety because, oh my gosh, AEW's competition? No, wait, WWE's the only game in town. No.
I don't know why they mad. That article's right. I don't know why they mad. That article's right. AEW is the closest thing to competition.
They're reporting facts. I
don't know why they mad.
Bro, those people that are angry about their article, like, were sitting there all day, worried about that. Those people have no life, so.
By the way, folks, before we wrap up, I got news for you. For the people that don't like when Tony Khan tweets out that stuff, it's smart. It's smart that Tony Khan does that. Here's why. Because Tony Khan is getting people talking about his show. Now you're going to be so mad at Tony Khan for tweeting that. Y'all stupid ass may tune into Rampage, which means more viewers for Tony Khan. So Tony Khan trolling. Tony Khan know how to get the media riled up, man. I'm telling you, man. Tony Khan got some heel in him. Tony Khan got some Vince McMahon heel in him, man. I see you, Tony Khan. I see you. Keep it up, Tony. Keep it up.
Listen, I gave my money to that company for 2 shows. They deserve it. So.
Absolutely.
So. That's going to wrap it up for tonight, folks. Thank you all for watching the Rampage review. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Big weekend ahead, of course. First of 3 vlogs, back-to-back-to-back weekends, going down to Tampa this weekend to see my Miami Dolphins play Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That should be fun regardless of the game, but I said my reasons as to why the Dolphins are going to win, so go ahead and check that out. Comment down below your thoughts about tonight's episode of Rampage. Hit that like button if you like what you heard from us in the review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You're gonna want to follow me, especially these next 3 weekends. Trust me, you're gonna want to follow me on here. So, and Instagram as well @Conlon_Joseph. Wes, where can they follow you on your socials?
You already know. Follow me at big_West18 on Twitter. That is BIG_WES18. I also have a Twitch channel now. Follow me at twitch.tv/WesleyWilliams5. That is twitch.tv WesleyWilliams5. I will be making an announcement very soon about when I will be doing my first stream. It might be sooner than you think. So there's a little hint for you there. But I will be making an announcement about my first stream and what game I will be streaming very, very soon. So stay up to date on that. And I hope you all you lovely viewers out there on the Big Fight Field channel, come and join me as I play some video games, have a good time. Talk to me about wrestling, personal life, whatever. We'll talk about whatever. Let's have a good time. But make sure you guys go follow me over on Twitch and on Twitter. Twitter, I talk about Dynamite every single Wednesday night on there. And, of course, on here, Big Fight Field with Joseph Conlon. And every single Friday night talking about Rampage on Twitter and on here with myself, Joseph Conlon, Cameron Johnson. And, Cameron, I think it's time for you to plug your socials, my man.
Sure. Make sure you follow me on Twitter @Cam71101. And with the NBA season starting in 2 weeks, and with the NBA season starting in 2 weeks, if you like to see me overreact to my team, then make sure you follow me on Twitter @Cam71101 for your latest news regarding WWE, your latest news regarding WWE, AEW, all of wrestling in general, and the NBA. Also subscribe to the CNA podcast, available on all platforms.
That's going to wrap it up tonight, folks. There is no... just want to remind you, there is no Dynamite on Wednesday. No Dynamite on Wednesday. I will do a video Wednesday, probably to cover up for that. But the next time we will see you is next Friday for AEW Rampage right here on the Big Fight Field channel. and then I'll be vlogging next weekend in Miami. So y'all have a good one. Stay safe, and as always, man, stay classy.